Good day. This is the Think Director, Phil. We're talking today about 15 key parenting principles. Finding joy in fathering, finding joy in mothering. Key parenting principles that affect us in both areas. First, let's understand the battle. Our experience in culture and community reveals the absence of an active father results in horrid outcomes for kids. We can do something about this. It's not hopeless, but we need to understand the impact of unfathered homes and the positives of fathered homes. There are key principles that involve the father and can be attended as best possible when the father is absent. We can attend to these parenting principles whether the father is there or not. Hey, it's always best when the father is there, when the father is actively involved. We all know that's not always the case. Family history. Some things you need to understand about family history is our foundations make a difference. Trauma needs to be tended. Expectations have been set by our family history, and we own the future. Now, I'm not going to go into big detail. We cover that in our coursework on these 15 principles. But understand that family history is important. You need to identify it, look at it, look at the roadmap of your life, and figure out where you want to go and how you want to handle moving forward in your family history so you don't repeat things that are negatives that you don't want to carry forward, but you do take the positives and build them as a foundation. Being a mom, being a man. Why do we need dads? Why do we need dads? Men have a different style of play than women do with children. Men are typically more active, more interactive. They have different expectations from children in society. It's not that it's better or worse, it's just different. And children need different styles of play, different representations, whether that's from a dad and a mom or an aunt or an uncle or coaches or wherever we get that type of interaction. We need different interaction, and men need to be men. Women need to be women inside of that family. Whatever that means for you, be who you are and let your kids see that authenticity come out as they build their own authentic lives. Handling emotions, right? This is another one of those key principles. You need to learn a better way forward. We don't need to handle emotions always with aggressiveness or even always with assertiveness. Sometimes we take the back seat and be subservient, not subservient, but serving. We should be serving the other person involved, and we should be served. So learn how to handle emotions, learn a better way forward as a parent. This is something you want. Don't get stuck on grief and loss. Work through it. Grief and loss affect us. That's part of that family history. That's part of what makes us who we are today. So you don't want to get stuck in your grief and loss. You want to deal with it. You want to move on. Let it change who you are. Grief and loss don't leave you who you were. They change you into somebody new as to who you are. So work through those items and those issues. Health. Gosh, is that a key parenting principle? Absolutely. The reason we're covering these as key parenting principles is they affect your parenting foundation, your parenting curve, your parenting modality. So your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual health are all important. Being a parent is a promise of the future. Lifelong dads and moms, kids need them. Being a parent is a promise of the future. So if you take care of your health, you're giving an example to your children and you're giving them as much of you as possible, as far into the future as possible. You never stop being mom. You never stop being dad. Only the day you pass on are you no longer in that role, but your example continues to talk. Men and mom. Key parenting principle, by the way, because we've kind of screwed it up as a society. This men and mom deal is screwed up as society. Men are not communicating well, keeping that balance with the mother of the children. Whether you continue to be married, whether you break up your partnership, you've never been married, or whether you continue in couplehood, men and mom relationship is important. Men loving the mother of their child. I don't care what your fights have been. It's your responsibility, men, to love the mother of your children. And women, I don't care what your fight has been, it's your responsibility to give a loving view and a loving relationship back to that man who fathered their child. That doesn't mean we're not talking about sexual loving. We're talking about concern and care and presenting in the best possible way that partner in the relationship to the children. Communication. Communication is so essential inside of a good parenting relationship. You need to work at it, be purposeful, and respect differences. Again, we're not trying to cover everything in this quick run through of 15 core principles, but you need to work at communication. You need purposeful in your communication and respect differences. Co-parenting takes two to start, two to grow, and two to finish. This is best case scenario, right? Conflicts are part of the process. But again, whether you're inside the same household, you're in two separate households, or there's other parents and grandparents and aunts and all these different people who get involved in the parenting process. You know, you as the primary couple, right? Or if you're a single mom or a single dad, then you got to contend with it. But you're going to have to give these children some consistency. You're going to have to work with each other so that co-parenting is just part of what you do. You don't just think, well, I'm the parent. No, there's other people involved. Who are you co-parenting with, and how do you cooperate with them? Parenting skills. Our children grow us. Our children grow us. My children have grown me. Your children grow you. When they go through the different stages of development and they grow up and become different, teenagers have different challenges and skills than a preschooler. And a preschooler has different challenges and skills than a middle schooler. So we never stop learning. As parents, we grow as our children grow. And it depends on the hand played us. Every child is different. Every child has a different personality, different grouping, a different interest, different abilities, and what we might call disabilities, but different abilities of learning and interacting, different social skills. We take the hand that's played us and develop our parenting skills to address the hand that's played us. Child development needs and different time frames and different developments of social and mental and physical and spiritual development that present different needs and expectations, thinking, physical development. All of this is going on in our children, and we need to tend to and be aware of where they're at in their life all through their life, right? And one of the biggest challenges of parenting is as your children grow into adults and become more friend than child. There's a child development. There's a development of a different relationship. You need to be attentive to that. One of those key areas of parenting. Discipline. Discipline is example. We're climbing that staircase of our own life in front of our children, and our children are climbing their own staircase. So discipline is doing the right things on the right day at the right time. Example. Regular habits. We need to present regular habits to our children and develop regular habits. Traditions. Traditions are good. Now, there are some traditions that are crazy, but there's good traditions. And we need those traditions. We need to know there's certain times of the year we're going to celebrate certain things and have different birthday type parties in our houses, whatever our traditions are. So correction after clarity and communication. You thought when I said discipline, I was talking about correction or punishment. No, discipline, that's a part of discipline. Correction after clarity and communication. Again, we're not going into all those details here, but we'll talk a little bit about it and understand this is a key area of parenting. Sexuality. Of course we have sexuality, and I'm talking about sexuality, parents with each other, with your partner, right? We need to be respectful. It communicates to our children how they're going to grow in respect of the sexuality of their partner. Right? Children don't get here except a man and a woman come together sexually, right? Now, there's all sorts of other things that might happen there, but the normal way is a man and a woman come together in sexuality. So it's an important part of parenting. It's an important part to be respectful, and how we handle that communicates to everyone involved, including children and the whole community. Intimacy. Now, didn't we just talk about sexuality? We did. Intimacy is extremely different than sexuality. It's mental, it's physical, it's emotional, it's relational, and it's spiritual. Let's go through that again. Intimacy is mental, emotional, physical, relational, and spiritual. When you put intimacy just on a physical basis, that it's a sexual interchange, it's just physical. No, it's emotional, it's mental, it's physical, it's relational, it's spiritual. So we want to develop intimacy in our parenting scheme, which then helps us develop intimacy with our children. Right? Another key principle of parenting: work family balance. Culture puts the blame on dollars, the real blame's on balance. Reasonable happiness is balance. So much we're trying to keep up with the masses and keep up with the Joneses and make a certain amount of money and do certain type things, but we need a work family balance. You need to decide what that is for your home, for your life, for your children, for your parenting situation, for your family situation. Keep that work family balance. Don't go so much all to work or all to family. There's a balance here. You need the finances to take care of your family now and into the future, but you need time with your family. You need interaction with your family so that it makes a difference. Managing money, the last of the 15 principles. You manage for today, you manage for tomorrow, and you manage for the long-term future. So many people are just trying to think, well, I just have enough money for today. If you think you have enough money for today, you're going to spend everything you have, and that was all you have. It's an attitude of budgeting, right? Do you have proper legal insurance? You got health insurance, you got property insurance, you have homeowners insurance, you have renters insurance, you have insurance on your life, right? And that carries your children forward. If something were to happen to you, that insurance is really death insurance more than it is life insurance. Those parts of life, that's part of managing your money. And do you have a savings plan? Are you putting enough aside so that if something breaks, you can repair it? Are you putting enough aside that you can retire at some point in the future or even leave a legacy for your children and for someone else? Manage your money. Don't let your money, whatever you have, whether you have $50 or $50,000 or $500,000, manage the money you have so that all the needs of life are taken care of, so you can budget it and give an example again to your children. So how are you going to develop this? I'm going to do, as we close this out, we went through those 15 items. Now, I'm going to say number 16 is development of your skills, development of your abilities, development of your aspect and looking towards life. And there's 3 core courses that we have here at Solom Community at solom.pathright.com that focus on parenting right now. One is this one, the 15 key principles. Sometimes we call it fathering joy. Parenting pizzazz, which goes through the practical aspects of parenting with our partnership with Fred Jones. The other one is in partnership with the National Fatherhood Institute. And this last one is family vision, which is a birthed up right out of Solom right here, getting that family vision. What do you need it to be, and how do you work through as a couple the things that interrupt your communication, that interrupt your family vision?